if I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the OSR Network, or OSRN, or Online Sim Racing Network. You have many options what you want to call us. I'm here tonight with Don Runkle. He's going to join me in the booth, and Aaron Grosskopf might join us in the booth as well. Also do some cameras, doing the camera work tonight. So we're here for the next to last race with the KickAss Beef Jerky Xfinity Series with Sim500 at the ISM Raceway. So Don, how are you looking for things tonight to go?
Well, we got two more races left in the championship. It looks like we're going to have, I think we were talking about pre-race, 4 drivers look like you're going to be racing for that last spot, headed to that last race for the championship. And right now we have just finished up. No, how much time we got left in qualifying? We got about a couple minutes left in qualifying. Justin Fuller is the first car that's taken a lap so far, but we still have a lot of guys out there. Got a hot track tonight, short track kind of that doesn't act like a short track here at Phoenix. And we're going to see a lot of different lines and a lot of different racing grooves here at this track tonight with the way you can run on that dog leg and run off kind of off the regular racing surface down there, and kind of to see how that kind of plays into account with this race tonight.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I was saying, regarding the points, so Byron Daly's leading the points. They say he's had a really strong showing this time in this round. He's got a 14-point lead over Daniel Fockingham, 17 over David Comstock, and 27 over Chad Coleman. Those are, at the moment, the top 4. And then right behind Chad Coleman, though, 6 points out is Justin Fuller, 8 points out is Jordan Hightower, also 8 points out is Scott Simley, and then 17 points out is Chris Jabu. I think it might even be a little more than that. Chris is going to be in pretty hard press to make it in, but I think it's going to really be between the Coleman, Fuller, Hightower, and Simley. I think those are the ones to watch tonight. As I say that, they are right now. You got Fuller and Hightower right at the moment, 1-2 in qualifying. As like I said, there's still some time left though.
Yeah, as you were saying that, I was noticing Fuller and Hightower right there. So hopefully those guys can stay up top on the charts up there a little bit. We got Chris Caboo in 4th showing so far, and Simley so far is showing 6th. So those are 4 of our chase contenders there that are going to be so far in the top 6. But obviously qualifying is not over yet. We still got a bunch of guys that have yet to take their qualifying laps. Oh, there you see Dave Comstock sitting on the pole so far.
Yeah, so I ran some laps here in practice. It's gonna be a handful tonight. I'll say it's really it's kind of one of those like pushing loose type setups, where it's pretty tight on the entry, but then on the exit, I mean, it's really tough to get the throttle down. I tried running some laps, and I could go about maybe 5-10 laps or so, and it just at that point it started snapping around on me. So I think these drivers are gonna really have their hands full. They're gonna need to be real careful on the throttle. Probably see a lot of rear brake bias in these drivers, trying to get that rotation under the brakes. So that's going to be something else to keep an eye on for here tonight as qualifying is progressing through. We mentioned for the points though, so Byron Daly actually, like I said, he's had a really good round of 8. He's won the last 2 races at Texas and then before that at Kansas. So he's hoping to kind of keep that going momentum wise and then kind of roll strong into Homestead.
Yeah, he's been having a great last few races here, rolling his way into Homestead and doing everything that he's supposed to be doing. And yeah, you were talking about trying to keep these cars under control tonight. You know, it's only 66 degrees out, but the track's got 120 degrees on it. And you know, as the night goes on or the day goes on, we might see that temperature creep up a little bit, and cars might get a little bit more loose and a little harder to handle.
Yeah, so it looks like qualifying's just about to finish up here, and I think that's gonna put David Comstock and then actually Chad Coleman, Justin Fuller. Those are gonna be the top three. So you've got three of the playoff contenders right there, and we mentioned that I think that kind of that area to look for with Fuller and Coleman and Hightower. So I mean they're all right there all together. So you see a couple of drivers, Daniel Falkingham, for instance, he's actually gonna didn't set a lap, and then also Scott Simley, Byron Daly starting 10th and 12th, maybe not getting quite the laps they want in there. So we'll have to see. I'd say the field's gonna start gridding up here, and we'll say actually while we do that, I will go through the grid. And so on the pole is the 42 of David Comstock. Starting second is Chad Coleman. The third is Justin Fuller. Fourth is E.J. O'Rourke. Fifth is Jordan Hightower. Sixth is Doy Woods. Seventh is Chris Jabou. Eighth, Glenn Campbell. Ninth, Josh Parker. And 10th is Byron Daly. I'll say the remaining, you'll see the remaining cars where they start on the grid up through the ticker as it goes by. But yeah, so any final thoughts before we start kicking off into green here?
Well, I'm tonight keeping my eye on David Comstock. I know, you know, he's starting on the pole and all, but he's definitely a guy that always takes care of his car, takes care of his tires. So him not having to fight his way through traffic and starting there on the pole, I think he's definitely a guy that you're going to have to look out for tonight.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. He's usually really good on the long run. Like you said, he's good at taking care of his equipment. And there's times where it's like you'll see him kind of work his way through the field, and this time I'll say he'll be able to kind of try to see if he can set the pace and control it. So I'll be interesting to see what kind of his game plan is, if he's going to try to push early to try to hold that track position. And just also got to see what's going to happen around him, because you've got a lot of fast cars right there. And I think you got a whole bunch of teammates right there also with Comstock, Coleman, Fuller, EJ, and Hightower. I think Doy even possibly. So I think that top six may all be part of that. So I'm blanking on the team name here, of course, now. Aftermath.
Aftermath Motorsports, yeah. Byron Daly's another guy to look out for. He's going to be a guy that you're going to have to look out. He's there in that chase contender. You know, he's trying to make it here to Homestead, and he's starting 10th. He's always a guy that's pretty fast.
Yeah, so definitely wouldn't be surprised to see Byron move his way forward here. I think I mean, obviously he'll want to win, of course, but I think his goal is just stay out of trouble, and just kind of, like I said, he's got a really good points margin over that fourth place position. So I think he's just need to try to take it easy, because right now he's actually got he's got a 27-point cushion over that fourth spot. So as long as he keeps it clean, he'll kind of be able to actually kind of just roll in there without too much drama.
Yeah, and you see these guys rolling side by side here with those lights off the pace car, getting ready to start this race here at the KickAss Beef Jerky Xfinity Series here at Phoenix Motor Speedway.
Yeah, so David's going to lead him off here at the start. He's got control of the start. Pace car's in, so he's going to wait a little while. He's going to wait for it to go green, because the leaders can actually start whenever they want to once the pace car's off the track. He chose just to go on the green that time. So good start, though. He's able to hang on to the lead. Battle for second right off the bat, though. Fuller trying to make a run on Chad Coleman here for second.
Yeah, you see a lot of those guys diving below that yellow line there, trying to get that run, especially early on with these new tires. They're going to have a lot of grip here. But Comstock's able to hold these guys off so far. You see everybody's pretty much in line here from the top 5 on back as they go down this front stretch and complete this first lap.
Yeah, so not too much running around to say right now. Say they're kind of just, I think, trying to get single file. This is, like I said, especially with as crazy as this track is with the track temp. I mean, like I said, in that dog leg, you're going to really see them kind of fan out in different positions, especially if they get a run off of turn 4 potentially. That's going to be something to look for. And one thing, no, we are still running the I guess old style.
Oh, we got somebody in the wall back there.
Yeah, trouble in the front stretch.
Trying to see who it is.
It's like looks like the Jeff Ryan, the 67
Ryan,
car.
67. He hit that inside wall a ton. I saw it back there. It looked like coming off the corner. Yeah, it looked like he just got loose coming off the corner.
Yeah, so pull up on the replay. Let's say, like I said, he just got loose off of 4. Say looks like I said, I'm going through the field. I think everybody got through unscathed. I'll say it's a close call for some of those guys. And say I'm sure Daniel Falkingham was a little bit a little bit nervous there because he was right there in he was actually right underneath the right actually 67 was right underneath him. So luckily he didn't try to catch it and hook him to the right because that could have easily ruined that 39's night as well.
Definitely looked like he just got a little bit on the gas a little bit too hard coming off the corner there, lost grip. Maybe on those new tires. We only have a few laps on these tires, so they are a little cold still, just warming up. And yeah, nosed it in the inside wall, so he'll be able to maybe able to get that car repaired. Not quite sure yet, and see if he can get back out there. But these leaders, Dave Comstock. Oh, Dave Comstock does not come down pit road. He snookered those guys there. He did not come down pit road. At the last possible second, dove back onto the racetrack. Looked like also EJ O'Rourke. What is that? Justin
Doy
Fuller?
Woods.
Or no, EJ O'Rourke, Doy Woods, and who else is that?
And Glenn Campbell. Those are
Glenn
the four.
Campbell all stayed out.
I'm a little surprised. I mean, tires may mean this much. I'm honestly not sure, but yeah, that's a lot of people pitting for only being about what 3 laps under green.
Yeah, that's basically the whole field pitted except these top 4, I think. And yeah, Dave Comstock just at the last minute decided to make that turn back onto the racing surface there.
And I really liked it. Yeah, really good strategy here too by Byron Daly. He pitted. However, he took 2 tires, so he's going to leapfrog all those cars.
Nice.
We mentioned he started in the 10th position, so he's going to restart here 5th with fresh right side tires. I double checked, make sure he didn't take lefts. I'm pretty sure he took rights. So I think that's going to be something to keep an eye on too. Now you have the 2 tires versus 4. See how that plays out.
I wonder if that is a decision he made when he saw those leaders stay out, or if he just decided that before that. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So I love the idea, though. I mean, if you're going to take a gamble, try to get that track position. I mean, we're on lap 6. Let's go for it now. If the 2 tires don't work out, okay, then kind of go back and you can not do that at a later time. But again, as fast as he is week in and week out, I mean, now he's in 5th place and he's got slightly newer tires than the guys in front of him, and now he's got all the playoff contenders except for David in his mirror.
Yeah, we talked, before the race. David is known for being able to take care of that car, take care of those tires. He's a guy known for being able to get there at the end, and him not taking tires. I'm not too concerned about that. I think he's going to be able to handle this okay, because I don't think it's going to be very many laps before he's kind of equaled out with the other drivers that took new tires. The only thing I'm worried about right now is maybe a little bit of tire spin on these starts. And maybe some of these other guys back there behind him that didn't take tires, and how they're going to kind of shuffle through here and battle with him in the lead. So
yeah, I think that's even the better part for him too, is the fact that he's got 4 cars that, or I should say 3 cars that stayed out with him. So even though some of these guys have new tires, they're still going to try to get around 3 other vehicles before they can even get to him. So that should maybe give him an opportunity to kind of sneak away a little bit. So we'll just see. I'll say obviously he'll be quick. I'll say EJ's one to compete as well. And actually, I mean, the guys that stayed out, not like they were way back in the field, because Doy was qualified 6th, Glenn qualified 8th. So it wasn't like somebody from like 20th or something like that stayed out for the track position. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. It's definitely gonna be something that the drivers are gonna keep in their minds for future on in the race.
Well, this track is unique too with that dog leg, and happening right off of turn 2 here after this restart. We're going to have to see how that works out with these guys on new tires. This pace car is about to peel away. Dave Comstock's going to take these guys to green, and EJ O'Rourke gets one good little, kind of sticks his nose out on the outside there, but does not beat Comstock to the line. But they are side by side going into turn 1.
Yeah, I have to see how the game if it likes that or not, because you just gotta be careful. Yeah, say he was starting 2nd, can't beat the leader across, so he might be okay with how. I'll say, well, just keep an eye on that for him. I see trouble in the back.
Around in the wall on the high side in turn 2.
22 Jordan Hightower.
22 Jordan Hightower, one of our chase contenders. No yellows out. He's gathered it back up. He's going straight, getting that car face back in the right direction. Another car is down low on the track on the front stretch. Looks like they gathered it up. It was 99 of Tommy Ryan.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look.
I'm going to roll replay here on the 22 of Jordan Hightower and see what happened to him.
Yeah, take a look. Looks like entering 3. Him and the 26 got together. Just kind of going for the same real estate, it looked like.
We got a good battle going on here for 5th and 6th place back here with Chad Coleman, Josh Parker, Justin Fuller. All these guys are really slicing and dicing between each other. They were 3 wide just a minute ago.
And I was saying, while we were taking a look to see what was going on elsewhere on the track, I just noticed up in 2nd place already is Byron Daly with those 2 tires. So
yes,
that may have been a very good strategy there by that 06 car. Again, he's had a really good round of A, so he's going to see if maybe he can cap it off with 3 wins in a row here. Again, long ways to go. Say it's 125 laps. We're on lap 11 right now. But I say, as we said that though, he's taking a look inside of that 42 car for the lead.
I think he's going to get by him here. Yeah, I don't think Comstock's going to give him too much trouble. I think he's not going to just give it away to him, but Byron Daly just seems to be so much faster right now. It's crazy. He caught up to him so quick.
Yeah, I kind of think I heard someone shifting too, so I think they might be trying even now dropping it down to 3rd gear, see if they can get a little bit more speed off the exits, which to me is crazy with as loose as it is. I would have thought you'd be in 4th gear no matter what.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't, that's one thing. Yeah, I always look at it as when you downshift at some of these tracks here, it's just one more thing to go wrong, so I try to avoid it. But you see Byron Daly here still, get a little loose there. Still trying to fight for the lead on David Comstock there.
Fuller's going around in the back. I think Fuller saved it. Yeah, he's got it. It's pointing straight.
Fuller?
Yeah, I think it was the 51.
Yeah, that was Fuller.
And while that was Byron Daly got in front of the 42, and the 42 actually caught the back bumper of the 06 a little bit. We're
seeing replay on the
take a look at the Fuller. So they were trying to keep up right now. So there's so much going on the track all over the place right here.
Right now in 2nd place, yeah, like you were saying, we got Josh Parker looking underneath Dave Comstock for 2nd place. He looks like he's going to be able to get that position here as they're coming out of turn 4. Yes, he's going to be able to get that position. He takes over 2nd place. Josh Parker right there as they cross start-finish line.
So I mean, I would say maybe just those 3 laps of tires, I mean, that may be enough. It just tells you kind of what the tire wear is doing with these things. So now the question is going to be how the 4 tires of Josh Parker can compare with the 2 of Byron Daly. So that's going to be the next question. So obviously even with just a few laps, it's going to make a difference. So something to keep an eye out for later on in the race for sure.
I think it's just I think these tires, honestly, they're probably either equalized or going to be equalized here soon, because they didn't run very many laps on that first run anyway. So I do know Comstock fell back a little bit, but I think that's just because the fresh rubber on these opening laps of this recent restart here. But I think as soon as these tires equal out and everything, I think you're going to see some guys making their way back up through the field. As you see, we're riding on board with Dave Comstock right now. He's looking through his front windshield up there to Josh Parker. And they are walking away from him a little bit, but if we can get a long green flag run, I think it's just a matter of time before David Comstock can reel those guys back in.
Yeah, so that's going to be something to look on to see what the long run does with these cars. So he's got Chad Coleman, Daniel Falkingham right behind him. So I'm trying to look to see kind of those that stayed out, how they're all faring. Say obviously you have David right now in 3rd. Doy Woods is in 6th, EJ in 8th, and then Glenn Campbell in 12th. So not faring too bad, but yeah, it's definitely interesting to see just how much these tires have played a role, though.
Yeah, Doy Woods just lost positions. Yeah, Daniel Falkingham, I'm watching him right now. He's battling for 4th right now, and he is really a man on the move. As you can see, he's really kind of fighting that steering wheel coming out of turn 4 there, but he's getting it done. He's fighting a loose race car right there, but man, he's really fast, and he is making his way up through this field.
Yeah, so he was the fastest car on the track that last time by about a 1/10 of a second. And I'll say now it's Wall making a pass as well, so Daniel's really going after it now. So he's done a really good job. I say it's further back. I'm trying to see who that was. I think it was Simley and Doy Woods possibly fighting for position there.
Yeah, Doy Woods and Scott Simley fighting for position there. And Scott Simley, one of those chase contenders, as you can see the '07 of Doy Woods staying up high. And Scott Simley running that real low line, going way below that yellow line.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously the shorter way around, but the thing is that it's a really risky for just it really screwing up your arc entering 3. So you have to make sure you do, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it right. Because
Definitely.
yeah, it just otherwise it just completely botches. You just kind of enter so shallow. It just yeah, it does not want to rotate the way you
You
need
can
it
lose
to.
you can lose a lot of momentum. It almost binds the car up a little bit if you don't do it the proper way. So some guys really find a lot of advantage going down there on that dog leg, and some guys, prefer to stay above that yellow line.
Yeah, so you'll definitely see it. I mean, and it's kind of the same way in the actual races as well. You'll see him use it like to full effect on the starts and restarts within like maybe a couple of laps, but then once you get about 5-10 laps on it, field spread out a little bit, you'll see they don't use it nearly as much. Of course, as I say that, the leaders all drop low there through it. Um, so they still want to find ways to prove me wrong. It looks like.
Well, the thing you got to be careful for is when you go down there, you got to be careful coming back up on the track. If you're gonna try to pass somebody or whatever, you got to make sure that they're clear there because you're doing a really wide arc coming back up onto the racing surface that somebody's still up there. So it can sometimes get a little hairy in traffic.
Yeah, no, and traffic definitely will play a role in there. So I'm going to see if our cameraman, Aaron, I don't know if you can get a look in the back of that '06 car. He's actually got a little bit of rear end damage. I think that may have been from when him and the 42 got together when we were checking that replay. So I don't think it'll affect him too bad, but just something to keep an eye on for later in the race.
Well, right now Byron Daly with those two tires is really getting it done so far. He's been taking that lead, and then he hasn't really given it up too much to Josh Parker. He's trying to chase him down, but I think that gap has pretty much remained constant. I don't really see him really gaining or losing too much ground to Byron yet.
Yeah, no, lap times are pretty even right now. I'd say they're all kind of running right in the 28, 28.2s to 28.4 range, like all the way through the top 15 at this point. So yeah, so right now it's really tight on lap times, right? And I'm trying to look to see, but yeah, I mean, right now Daly, Parker, Comstock, Falkingham, they all ran within like not even 100th of a second of each other.
Yeah, they're running such tight laps right now. It's ridiculous, and a lot of these guys are just looking for this. They want a long green flag run so they can maybe separate themselves from the guys that have abused their tires, or maybe even some of these guys that, like Byron himself, that took two tires, or some of these other guys that only took no tires. So maybe that'll come into effect later on in this run.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely something to look for. Say, trying to keep an eye. So we already commented, of course, how Daniel's made a really good charge to the front from starting in the 16th spot. Brian Macklin as well. He started 18th. He's up to 8th, so he's made a really good charge in that 30 car. I say he's actually right now as well, right on the back bumper of that 41 of EJ O'Rourke, trying to see if he can get that 7th spot away. Again, EJ is one of those ones that stayed out on that first caution, so slightly older tires, nothing too crazy out of the line, um, but yeah, I'll say it. And up front, though, things are kind of holding steady still.
Yeah, I think you're right about those. What you were talking about earlier about some of these guys shifting. It sounds like a lot of these guys or a few of these guys are shifting. As I'm kind of going on board myself, listening to some of these guys. I do believe. I think EJ was shifting earlier. I don't know if he still is, but man, I don't know if I would do that. You can see, wow, EJ is really loose right there. Oh, EJ's almost lost it. Wow, he was drifting coming out of turn 4 there.
Oh,
And now we have a
caution
caution on the
out.
track.
Think it may have been Fuller. Says he
Ju-
just left. Take a look
It's gonna be
here.
Justin Fuller there.
Yeah, so I'll take a look. So unfortunately, we can't pull a replay up because he left the
I'm
servo
looking at it
already.
right now. It looked like he
Yeah, just
came
got
off
loose
at
off
turn 4,
4.
just got loose and nosed it into the wall and just kind of alt F4'd it, so he didn't get anybody else involved. I didn't see anybody else get involved, so
Yeah, and I think it was just him. Um, Fortunately, unfortunately, obviously, don't want to see drivers have bad nights. I'll say that's gonna. So I mean, obviously, that's gonna definitely help Chad Coleman. on the point situation, and also actually with the trouble with Jordan Hightower as well with his damage. Those are two things that are going to really benefit Chad Coleman just from that situation there. At least now Jordan has an opportunity here to get his damage fixed because he has a lot of right side damage on that machine. And then from here though, it's gonna be it's kind of gonna be three of them fighting for that spot between Coleman, Hightower, and Simley.
And another thing, I'm sure you're not going to see anybody staying on pit road now. I mean, staying out on the track. Everybody's going to come down pit road and take tires. So everybody's going to be equal out on their tires.
Yeah, so the only thing I would have maybe done if I was Jordan Hightower there is I would, since you do have so much damage needing to be repaired, I would have considered staying out there, get a lap led, and then come in, get
That wouldn't
everything
have been a bad
fixed.
idea. Yeah, yeah.
But it may be enough damage where he might need more than one lap to get it all fixed.
Well,
So.
we're seeing he comes in his pit stall right now, and he's going to take his tires and see how much damage he's going to be able to get fixed on that machine there.
So I'm trying to keep an eye on the leaders up front. Looks like everybody hit their pit stalls really well. So then I'll say that's gonna be the tricky part too. Is you're gonna see Byron Daly starting 10th. He's got to come all the way around, and that's gonna make it close. I think he's gonna hang on to the lead, or I'm not sure if David may have got it.
No, Comstock got the lead. It looks like to me. Yeah, David Comstock came out the leader there on pit road.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong cones. So yeah, so that's gonna get the 42 to lead. I say, and that's the benefit of that pole position. I say that's what hurt Byron Daly qualifying in that 10th spot. He has to go around the outside of that turn and just can't. Obviously, it's the shorter distance around for David.
Yeah, for David, he basically just had to drop the hammer and go. So he definitely has the advantage being the pole sitter and getting that #1 pit stall.
Yeah, and there is a reason why they do that. So I'm trying to take a look. Yeah, and say Jordan Hightower just right now left the pits. Make sure he doesn't get put a lap down. Still a lot of right front damage on that 22 machine. I'll have to see if he can probably do the same thing, kind of run around, hop back in, get some more fixed. As you see, he's going back into the pits, entering off of turn 4. So I'm trying to. My brain was watching the race earlier, so I keep on wanting to say turn 1 or turn 2, but it's like no, not yet.
Yeah, because in real life it's different than it is on here. Yeah, I totally. But yeah, David Comstock, Byron Daly, Chad Coleman, Scott Simley, EJ O'Rourke ran out our top 5 after lap 32 of 125 laps here at Phoenix International, or IMS. I'm used to saying Phoenix International. IMS.
Yeah, and you mentioned Scott Simley. I mean, he's up to 4th. That's a really good jump for him
Yeah,
as well. Again, he's one of those ones that has a potential to try to make a challenge out of it for Chad Coleman for that 4th and final position. So he's going to do everything he can here. As I just saw right there, I believe it's Steve Herring's going to take one of his get a wave around, get one of his laps back. I think it's going to put him and John Muschin Jr. They'll both be 1 down at the moment, whereas the rest of the field right now otherwise is on the lead lap.
Yeah, and I was looking back at 10th and 11th. Steve Ritter, Randy Yoakum, guys both started deep in the field. They're having great runs tonight. Steve Ritter at 10th, Randy Yoakum at 11th. So those guys are going to try to see if they can do something with their so far pretty fortunate evening. So see if they can maybe gain some more spots here as the pace car lights are off, and these guys are going to be going back to green here shortly.
Yeah, so David took the top side here on this restart, so I think you'll probably see the 20 behind him get it probably time. They'll probably count it down, see if they can get a run on him there, on Byron Daly, that is. And so yeah, good start by David. He's able to obviously easily clear into 1. So now the fight's going to be for 2nd to see if Coleman can stay on the outside of Daly and get the exit he needs. Let's say, but very likely Byron will take that shortcut down to the bottom, kind of like shortcut that turn.
Yeah, that's the advantage of being on the pole and being able to decide which line you want to start in. David was able to get a great run, clear everybody else, and not really have to worry about it. He can pick any line he wanted with that clean air, while the rest of these guys have to pretty much battle side by side. Except Byron Daly, he's got nobody next to him, and right now he's got his eyes set on David Comstock as he's trying to get up there to him.
Yeah, so he's got some space now between himself and Chad Coleman as well. So EJ is able to get a good, EJ got a good start there. Also now up to the 4th position. I think he restarted 6th there, so a really good start for him. So now I got to fight for that 5th position. Between Macklin and Simley right now.
Yeah, and Chad Coleman's definitely shifting because I just heard it on his car. And EJ O'Rourke, he passed a couple cars there on that restart, and he's trying to power up there past Chad Coleman, trying to get it done.
Yeah, I'd say further on back, they're dicing it all over the place, pretty much with Jose Gonzalez in 26, the 10. Who's that? The 10 of Steve
Yeah.
Ritter, Chad
Wow, they are
Cole's right
really
there,
packed
Josh
tight.
Parker. Yeah, they're all. Daniel Fockingham's in there. He'll have to be careful because he's kind of in a bit of a hornet's nest that he probably does not want to be in right now. So yeah, I'd say it's really busy right here.
That's super busy right there. Those guys are all running really tight. Almost three wide at one point.
Yeah, I'd say it seems like Daniel's been kind of running the top more. So I was saying I have to double check his pit stop. I'm a little surprised that he fell back as far as he did there after the stop.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh yeah, like 30.1 seconds. Yeah, so he must have had some damage that he needed to get fixed on that car.
Well, he's getting it, trying to work his way up there again right now. Looks like these guys maybe calmed down just a little bit. They're not quite as racy as they were just a few laps ago. They were almost 3 wide a few laps ago.
Yeah, it's spread out a little bit, I'd say, but still a really good fight here. You got Josh Parker just got around Steve Ritter. Chad Cole tried to see if he could find a way through there, but Ritter was able to close the door. So now Chad's going to see if he can kind of see where he can try to make this run. So he gets a good exit off of 2. Right now he's just following the tire tracks of that 10. He's going to take a peek, it looks like right now, entering 3.
Yeah, these guys are really getting it done here, really trying to battle back and forth here. David Comstock, though, up front, still leading this race, but it looks like Byron Daly is closing in on him. He's actually getting really close to his rear bumper here.
Yeah, Byron is about half a tenth or so quicker than David that last time by. As I was watching that 17 and 10 battle, and it looks like it's going to be a tough one to pass. I mean, obviously their tires are still pretty fresh at the moment, but Chad got to the inside of that 10 car and just could not complete the pass. But yeah, like you said, though, Byron Daly's working over that back bumper of the 42. He's going to take a look, entering 1. No, David closes the door.
Yeah, and he's still right there. I mean, he's trying to get down there. He's down there on that below that yellow line, trying to get that momentum to make it. I don't know if he's quicker than David. I mean, he's right there. Oh, wow, he is right there on his back bumper. I thought he was going to give him a little bump.
Yeah, so they had a little contact earlier when the 06 got by the 42. So I don't think it was anything intentional. But yeah, so I'm sure that's something that was in both of their minds as well. There's like, oh, let's not have any more contact here. But yeah, like I mentioned, though, it looks like it's going to be tough to pass, and it's going to be kind of a strategy thing. It might be one of those ones, too, where you might want to actually try to get to the outside so they can't keep the power down on exit. We've seen that happen in a few races where the top was where you wanted to be. And I think for here, you may not want to, you don't want to run the top line, but you need the whole track to get that power down. And so I think that's where the bottom line's having a little bit of trouble trying to make these passes. They just, as loose as it is, they just can't power out the turns.
Yeah, and I think, too, with this dog leg is the most difficult turn to kind of get the power down and then get, be able to get the car to rotate. It just doesn't seem to want to turn sometimes. And then, like you were saying, a lot of these guys go below that yellow line, and then as their tires get worn, they decide not to. But right now, you see Byron Daly, man, he is giving David Comstock a whole heck of a lot of grief right now. They are bumper to bumper right there, as you say. Byron Daly diving down inside, trying to get that momentum. He's trying to get that fender up in him. He's side by side right here in 3 and 4. Still side by side, kind of getting that car bound up a little bit. Can't quite get that momentum to complete that pass on David Comstock. Is like you were saying, David can hold that momentum more on the high side, just keep that car kind of rotating.
Yeah, as I was watching, they're entering 1, as I thought, looked like they were about to have a moment there. Say David's holding a perfect line there, though. Able to hold off that charge by the 06. And I'm saying right behind them, though, Chad Coleman, he's still right there as well. Any little bobble by these guys, he'll definitely take advantage of that. Same with EJ O'Rourke running in that 4th position. So you got pretty much the top, I'd say top 7 or so, all pretty much nose to tail in this group right now.
Yeah, these guys, I mean, it's so difficult to pass here, as you can see. I mean, Byron Daly's throwing everything he can at David Comstock, and he's definitely got a fast race car. He just can't quite complete that pass because, like you said, David is running the perfect line. He's just running exactly where he needs to be. He's basically taken away the fast line from Byron, and Byron kind of has to just do what he's got left over with, which is that bottom line, and then that bottom line just doesn't have the speed and the grip to be able to get past him.
Yeah, it's just amazing because I mean, again, I ran some laps here in practice, and I know how much of a handful it was for me to run, and I think I was maybe in like 15th or so on lap time. So for these guys to be running as fast as they are, as close as they are, is just again, it's just I don't know. I can't help but be impressed with how good these guys are behind the wheel.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And I'm looking at the battle with EJ O'Rourke and Brian Macklin right now, and Brian's giving EJ O'Rourke a bunch of grief, as that's a really great battle on the racetrack. As we got a yellow flag on the track.
Yeah, take a
Oh,
look
and
here.
EJ's spinning. Did he catch it? It's not for the yellow, but he's good.
Yeah, try to see where this yellow was. Haven't found it yet.
I haven't found it either. I just happened to be looking at EJ, and I saw EJ almost spinning when he was slowing down for that wreck, and I don't see what it was for. I'm trying to see right now on the racetrack here, folks. Was it Gillenwater? No.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that yellow is
I'm
for. I
not
don't
sure what
see
that
anything
yellow
that
was
stood
for.
out.
I don't see anybody that disconnected.
Sim500's trying to have some Game 7 moments like we saw today
I
in the
guess
Cup
so,
race.
yeah. I'm trying to figure out who it is, and I can't really tell off. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're not sure what brought out that yellow, unfortunately. Say nothing that stands out to us. I'm gonna take a look. I'll say while you're gonna see him entering the pits right now.
Yeah, David Comstock's entering the pits right now. Byron Daly, Chad Coleman, EJ O'Rourke fourth, and Brian Macklin fifth. That's how they entered pit road. We'll see how they exit pit road here. These guys definitely don't want to slide in their pit stalls or get in crooked or anything like that. David Comstock does have the advantage of them that very first number one pit stall. So these guys are peeling off right now into their pit stalls. Looks like EJ's going to get in good. It looks like Comstock, Daly's going to get in. Everybody gets into their stalls good.
I'm saying this is again another benefit here for Jordan Hightower. Get more of that damage repaired. I think he still had a lot of damage to get fixed on that machine, just hasn't had time to do it. Say as the pit exit, oh, it's gonna be close between the 06 and the 20 for that second spot. I'm not sure who got it there.
Wow, that was really close between those two. I'm not sure who got it. I think Byron Daly got it. Our producer Aaron's telling us Byron Daly got second.
Yeah, saying looks like otherwise it's kind of held station there. Actually, Brian Macklin able to get around EJ O'Rourke. Glenn Campbell as well. He's still right there. I think he got by Scott Sinley in the pits. Yeah, so still a lot of good moves, a lot of good progress these guys are making, especially through the pits here.
Yeah, and Glenn Campbell tonight, he's having a fantastic run tonight. Started in 8th place. He's currently in 6th, almost cracking that top 5. A lot of guys having some great runs tonight. Macklin started 18th. He's currently in 4th. We have Steve Ritter. We talked about him earlier. He started 19th. He's in 10th. So a lot of these guys are showing their power to be able to get past guys here on pit road, having some great pit stops, and they're going to be able to get that oh so important track position because it's very hard to pass here tonight at Phoenix.
Yeah, and I'll say track position is definitely going to be at a premium here tonight. Saying I think, so I'm double check here. Say obviously the 22 still got a fair bit of damage on that machine, but I think he's repaired everything that the game or his crew or whatever you want to call it will let him. So I think at this point he's got what he's got. So he's going to have to try to find a way to make some ground up. Say the problem for that right now is that Chad Coleman's having a really good run here in the 3rd position. So again, not one to hope for bad luck on anybody, but I think that's probably what it's going to take for him at this point as the pace car lights are off.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Like you said, you're not trying to wish bad luck on anybody, but I think that's about the only thing that he can hope for at this moment. Oh, okay. That's what the caution came out for. So that's what the caution came out for.
So
Oh,
yes,
sorry.
as I just want to let the guys know. So I went back to take a look at the caution. Yeah, the 17 and the 16 got together in 1 and 2 on the exit of 2. That kind of sent the 17 around, able to hang on to it. I don't think they really had any damage. Just but it was enough of a slide to make the caution come out here. But I'll say as we come off of 3 and 4, gonna put the hands back or put it back in the hands of David Comstock, and he's gonna try to get these guys going here and probably try to help his teammate here get a good restart. Oh man, there's.
Oh, go ahead.
I know I was gonna say it looks like they looked like Daly tried to time that a little bit and did not work to his advantage.
Well, I was noticing Comstock decided to start on the bottom this time.
Oh, trouble in one already.
Oh, yeah, we got big trouble back there. 2-3 cars. Let's see.
I think it was Steve Ritter again, and I'm
Steve
not sure
Ritter
who else.
Hold on.
So I think those, yes. Oh, Steve got into, so yeah, the 16 got into the 23, and then unfortunately that collected the 07 and the 17.
Yeah, the 23 and Ritter made contact, and then the the 17 and the 07 just had nowhere to go.
Yeah, taking a look here. Say, I don't think you'll see any pit stops on this caution. I'll say I think that was too short.
Maybe guys just to fix some damage.
Oh yeah, no, I think you'll
that's
see.
about it.
Yeah, I think you'll see Doy and Chad and Ritter. They'll all come in here. So I think this will give Steve Herring the free pass. That'll put him back on the lead lap. So a really good job by Steve as well, hanging with it. Get him back on the lead lap here and see what he can do as well in that 98 car.
Yeah, that'll keep everybody that is currently running on track. That'll put everybody on the lead lap. Justin Fuller, he has retired from that earlier incident that he had with the inside wall there. So, like you said, Steve Herron is going to be our lucky dog, and he is going to be the only car that was a lap down. So now everybody is on the lead lap.
So yeah, so taking a look here in the pits, looks like, yeah, we got John Mustin Jr., Steve Ritter, Tommy Ryan, Jeff Ryan, Doy Woods are all in the pits. I'm not sure if Chad pitted or not. No, he has not pitted yet. He might. I'm guessing he'll pit this time though.
Yeah, and we still see David Comstock there as our leader, running for that chase, trying to make it to Homestead. Byron Daly also right there behind him, and we saw David Comstock choose to start on that inside line this last time. So how important is it here to which line you're going to really start this race here at Phoenix, Gaio?
I don't know if the lines are as important as just being the control car. I think that's where the need is. I think David's been kind of being a good teammate right now. Like, I'm expecting on this restart, I think he'll start on the top side to try to help that 20 car. Because I'll say if he runs in the bottom, he'll have Brian Macklin behind him. So based on what I've seen so far, I think he's been trying to be a good teammate to his guys. So I think that's what you're going to see is and like I said, it's just having the control of the restarts. That seems to be really the beneficial part of it.
Definitely knowing when to be able to go, and yeah, obviously if you're controlling the start, then that definitely is a huge advantage. So yeah, I think you're right about that. I was just curious. I actually haven't ran too much here at Phoenix in the Xfinity car, so I'm just kind of curious how that would work here for Comstock. So as we see the lights on the pace car, nope, they just went off. So these guys are. What's that?
Oh, as David proved me wrong there. He went to the bottom here.
Oh, yeah, he did. You're right.
So it looks like Chad Coleman's going to won't be able to get that, hopefully, that countdown that he may have been hoping for. So he's going to try to base it off of Byron Daly at this point. But like you said, that last time Byron tried to kind of time that restart here. So we'll see what he's able to do on this one. But it's hard to play those games with David. He's pretty seasoned here at this league. I say he knows how to run the show and not get shaken too much by the guys around him.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to ice David Comstock, man. He's a veteran. He knows how to get it done. He knows how to start these races. He's been around. He's a veteran, man. He knows how to get it done here. And, yeah, he is going to be starting down low here, and he has so far had a pretty good night. So pace car peels off. We're going to see if he can continue it.
Yeah, so back in his hands. It's a little earlier start this time. Again, gets a really good start there, saying now going to be that fight for second here between Macklin and Byron Daly. And right now, it looks like the advantage is going to go to Macklin. Just depends on the power that the 06 can get on exit here.
Yeah, and Comstock, you saw in that start, he like brought the car up high and then was able to arc it down into the corner. So he, that advantage again that we talked about is not getting clear enough to be able to not have any cars around you when you're trying to get that run on these fresh tires. And David Comstock right now, he's got Macklin behind him with Byron Daly and EJ O'Rourke, all looking up there, trying to get past him, trying to see what they can do. Everybody back there behind EJ is pretty much racing side by side. Some guys are almost 3 wide back there in the dog leg.
Yeah, so once you get that dog look, that's where everything starts fanning out like crazy. I'll say, but yeah, so kind of a new player, I guess you could say, with Brian Macklin getting up there into the second spot
Yeah.
here. Got
This
a good
battle
battle
for
going
6 with Glenn
yeah.
Campbell and Jose Gonzalez is our producer was telling us about it right now. I was already looking at it because it was such a great battle. But you got this one. I mean, these guys are just going 3 wide. It's crazy back here. Glenn Campbell able to hold his own there on the outside. Jose Gonzalez just got by him.
Yeah, so while you're watching that, I was watching up front here.
Oh.
Macklin had a good run at David, trying to see if he could try to get that lead, but then Byron Daly popped into the picture as well. So I'd say you got a really good fight here for seconds, and it's just gonna kind of depend on who's able to get the momentum going right now. Oh,
Caution
caution comes out.
Looks like it was further in the back. I don't see anything from the front to the middle of the field.
I think
so
it was
definitely
the 11 and the 16. Yeah, it looks.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks
Yes,
like
it
Steve
sure
Ritter
was.
and John Muschin Jr. Yeah, so take a look in the replay here. It looks like, from what I saw,
It looks
there,
like
yeah,
Muschin just got into the back
he
of
just
Ritter
got in
just a
too
little
deep,
bit.
yeah.
And got a little bit in there too deep. And Ritter got some damage on the back end of that car, brought a caution out. So I think he'll be able to get that car fixed. Doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, so that back end's pretty dented up, unfortunately for him.
Yeah.
I say these last couple of yellows have not served him well, unfortunately. But yeah, so saying I'm curious now. This is going to open up some strategies here because you've seen some of the guys. It's a long enough run at the beginning of the race where a lot of those drivers pitted here. So this could be a tire strategy one where do you pit? Do you stay out? Does someone like maybe Daniel Fockingham? He pitted that last caution. Does he play the opposite game? So it's going to be interesting to see what the choices are. But right now, it looks like everybody's going to come in here. So now the next question is going to be 2 versus 4. If anyone wants to try that 2 tire strategy like Byron Daly did earlier.
And we saw it didn't really affect Byron Daly too much. I mean, he took 2 tires and he was able to get that lead and hold on to it.
Yeah, so we'll see what we got going on here. So far, Macklin pits obviously way earlier than these guys based on his starting spot. So now again, they just need to make sure that they hit their marks here. So far, so good. Don't see anybody overshooting their pit stalls. So now it's just going to be strategy calls, see who does what.
Looks like these guys are taking. Oh, who is this taking 2 tires? Who was that?
Mr. Byron Daly.
Mr. Byron Daly, Mr. 2 tire. He took 2 tires before. It was a good test, I guess, to be able to see for later on the race if 2 tires is a good idea again. And this was a great time to do it because, I mean, they didn't have really a long run on these tires at all. So what a great strategy call by Byron Daly. Once again, with 2 tires, got him that track position. He's going to take the lead.
Yeah, saying we're right at that halfway mark as well, up 63 of 125. And I say again, I mean, now the fact that he's going to have control of this restart as well. We talked about how hard it is to pass. I mean, that's just going to make things even better for him here, where he can now he can jump when he wants to go, and then then it's up to David and Brian Macklin, EJ O'Rourke. It's up to them to try to get around him. Unlike the other time where it was him trying to find a way around those guys.
Yeah, these guys are definitely, I mean, it's so hard to pass here. That was such a great strategy call by Byron Daly there. And we saw that, 2 tires really didn't affect his speed or anything as opposed to the other guys that were behind him that took 4. So, great call by him. It's going to be interesting to see David Comstock with 4 tires, how this is going to really, how this race is going to run out here with Byron Daly with his 2 tires. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, same here as well. So it'll be definitely exciting to keep an eye on. Saying while we have a little bit of time, I want to make a mention as well. So obviously this is one of our 3 broadcast races that we have going on here with Sim500 and the OSR network. On the Wednesday night, the English Auto not English Auto, I'm sorry, the WCIparts.com Truck Series. They had just finished up their Phoenix race. Oh, let me double check. Yep, it's one to go. So I'll do that on the next yellow. However, just remind you guys, tomorrow night is the Trans Service Cup Series at Phoenix. I'll say the same thing. We're going to be going from 8 drivers to 4 drivers. And then on Wednesday will be the Homestead finale for the WCIparts.com Truck Series. I was saying, should we catch another yellow? I will go over who's where on that one. So you got a lot of good stuff coming up here as well. We'll have a winter season on the Wednesdays with the K&N cars, and as well, I believe there's gonna be the Joe Gibbs Winter Series on Mondays as well. So definitely a lot of stuff going on. You can take a look at sim500.com.
Yeah, a lot of racing going on, even in the winter off series with all these guys. So a lot of great close battles that are going to be happening here as a lot of championships are closing out.
So yeah, it's pace cars off. Now it's shoes on the other foot here. See David kind of peeking a little bit ahead of Byron Daly, and Byron Daly drops the hammer. I say he gets a really good start there. Same thing, able to get that arc entering turn 1. He's going to get it down to the yellow line here and see if he can try to put some gap on that 42 car. But I say David's going to try to take advantage of these 4 new tires here and see if he can make a charge on, I think, Byron Daly early before those tires even out, like we talked about earlier.
Well, the thing about David is David doesn't have anybody next to him either, so he has kind of a clean track except the leader Byron in front of him, so he's able to stick right on Byron there. So he definitely has the advantage with the 4 tires. Well, not sure if it's an advantage. It definitely wasn't earlier on in the race, but right now Comstock is right there on Byron Daly, but our leader Byron Daly on those 2 tires is able to hold his own. As you see, everybody behind them is kind of fanning out all through that dog leg.
Yeah, say it's gonna be curious because I mean, like you said last time, when Byron took those 2 tires, he also had some guys that stayed out as well. So this time it's 2 versus everybody else with 4 here. So it's gonna be definitely a challenge for them. But I say if anyone's gonna be able to do it, I wouldn't be surprised if Byron Daly's able to. However, like I said, David Comstock's gonna be keeping him super honest right now because they've, even with what they're doing right now, they're starting to put a little bit of a gap on that 3rd place of Brian Macklin.
Yeah, they definitely are. They are gapping him just a little bit. And speaking of gapping a little bit, it looks like even Byron Daly might be even putting a little daylight between himself and Comstock there. We saw earlier in the race, Byron Daly took 2 tires that pulled the same exact pit strategy as before, and it worked out for him. I mean, he actually got the lead and was able to hold on to it for a while. So, kind of making that call early on in the race. To be able to do this call later in the race, and he might even be able to do it later on in the race in the closing laps, depending on how cautions fall.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. Let's say he tried it early. He's like, this actually didn't feel too bad. 'Cause there's times where like it just throws the balance of your car really off. I'll say, but yeah, so far it seems like it's working really well for him. I'll say, of course, as I said something about Macklin kind of falling off a little bit. He's ran the fastest lap the last 2 laps of the cars up front. So he's now putting the pressure on David Comstock here for that 2nd spot.
It makes you also wonder, other drivers are out the field have seen that Daly has done this twice so far. So, if the situation comes up again, you're going to see other guys out there trying to do the same thing. But, Byron Daly also had the unique situation of basically he was in the situation the exact same way twice, where he had 4 fresh tires, had a few laps on him, yellow came out, and then he was able to make the option of only taking 2 tires. That happened twice for him. So, like I said, we got a car out on the front stretch back in the field. Was it that Red Bull one?
Oh, yeah, it's Chris Jabou, unfortunately.
That was Chris Caboo. I do believe it was. That Red Bull car hit that inside wall there.
Oh, he had a little bit of help, I think, off of 4 with, yeah.
We're gonna get a replay here. I said refund. Huh. We're going to get a replay here.
Yeah, it just looks like the 5 and the 44. 44 got the back of that 5 off of 4 and just hooked him around, unfortunately. And so I say it was pretty much a long shot for him to get in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a big hit, though.
It was a good hit there to that inside wall, man. Might have done some motor damage there to that car.
Yeah, hopefully it didn't jinx Glenn Campbell as well as talking about him having a really good run here to be involved there.
Right.
But this does open up again the tire strategies. So we've ran I'd say about 8 laps or so on that run. So it seems like tires are important for these guys. So I think you're going to see everybody in again, most likely at least. So now the question is going to again be, like I feel like we're now Byron Daly. I don't think he can take 2 tires twice in a row here. I'm obviously I've been proven wrong before.
Oh, he doesn't even pit. He stays out.
And he's going to be a very very
Wow.
lonely man right now.
He is the only driver that I can see that stayed out.
Yeah, so the next car coming around is a lap car. He's going to get his
Wow.
lucky dog. I think that was Jeff Ryan. Yeah, Jeff Ryan's going to get his lap back here. But yeah, so we're going to keep an eye on these pit stops. But yeah, Byron Daly's the only one staying on track right here. Did not go to plan for him there. But now, I mean, this is also another question of, does anybody now try the 2 tires like he did to see if it works for them?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, well, I mean, he's the leader. He's kind of a sitting duck. I didn't expect him to stay out though. I expected maybe a 4-tire stop for him since he just took 2. All the leaders, all the other cars that stayed out, our producer is telling us that they all took 4 tires, and that EJ O'Rourke, out of all the cars that pitted, has won the battle off pit road.
Yeah, so yeah, everybody else took 4. There was no no 2-tire strategy. I'll get that out sometime. But yeah, so EJ with a really good pit stop there, going to come out in the 2nd position. David will be 3rd, and then Brian Macklin in the 4th spot. So yeah, this is going to be another one to see how this shakes out. If what Byron Daly is able to do with 2 tires that are older versus everybody else who's got about, I would say, about 8 or so lap fresher tires, and they're all on 4. So. Byron's definitely given himself a challenge here tonight. I say if he's gonna have to earn this one.
No, definitely. He's got to worry about tire spin on this restart. He's got to worry about all that because all these guys back there all got fresher tires. And you know, EJ O'Rourke, he's not exactly known for his patience. So he is probably going to be quite aggressive here to try to make this. Well, I don't want to say quite aggressive, but he's he's not gonna wait too long before he tries to make the move for that lead spot.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I mean, we're already within 50 to go here. So I mean, it's a I mean, while it's a speedway, it's still a pretty short track. I say lap times are pretty quick here, and so you gotta kind of gotta take what you can get here, and saying this is a really good opportunity here for EJ. Where, yeah, you're the 2nd car on track. However, you're the 1st car with brand new tires, so this is where you got to try to capitalize on. And I know he hasn't been the happiest with his season so far in Sim 500, so he's been definitely having some good runs though over the past few races here. So this is definitely one he'd like to try to capitalize on. Say his lights are again off on the pace car. Byron Daly's going to take the top side on this start, so we're going to see that's going to put EJ to the bottom and put Brian Macklin right behind Byron Daly here in 4th.
Yeah, I was curious to see what line he was going to take. I kind of figured he'd take that high side, especially with the tire spin. I think he might be able to get a little bit more grip up there and be able to arc it a little bit better going into that turn 2 into the dog leg. I think it'll give him a little bit more of a fighting chance here against these guys who got fresh tires behind him.
Yeah, he's just going to have to make sure he really gets a strong restart here as he goes. Oh, wait. I thought he was going there, but he actually backed off again.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was doing. There he goes.
There he goes. Say, I don't think the pace car is all the way off yet, so you have to be careful on that one in the future, I'm sure. But yeah, really good start there. He's going to be able to get into the bottom on turn 1. But again, it's like we saw last time with David all over the back of him. Now it's going to be that 41 machine all over that back bumper, running the dog leg all the way low. He's going to see if he can get his nose in there. Not quite. So EJ running below the yellow line in 3 and 4 as well.
You're going to see these guys catch him in the corners more than anything else. Coming off the corners and in the middle of the turns, I think is where you're going to see these guys really catch him because I think they're going to swallow him up, honestly. Oh, wow. Whoa. I thought Macklin was going to get into EJ there. They really got close. And EJ O'Rourke dies down low. He's got that momentum. I think he's going to be able to make the pass here for the lead.
Yeah, so EJ had a really good 1 and 2 there. He's going to try to see if he can get that power down. Obviously, Daly's not going to make it easy for him, but say right now, EJ's got the tires. Now he's just going to make sure he doesn't get any assistance there from that 30 of Macklin. As they said, they almost got together that last time by. And yeah, EJ's going to slide up, clear the 06 of Byron Daly. Now he's going to try to protect it from Brian Macklin because Brian's going to clear the 06 as well. And yeah, say right now for Byron Daly, it's just gonna be kind of
I think he's a sitting duck.
just, yeah, he's just gonna have to try to minimize the damage here, hope for a yellow, and then get back on the cycle of tires that the leaders are on, that the rest of the leaders are on.
Yeah, I think his tires are just way too old to hang with these guys. I mean, he took 2 on the 2 cautions ago and then didn't even pit this one. So, yeah, I think it was just a matter of time. But we see EJ O'Rourke, our new leader. We haven't seen him lead the race tonight. We see Brian Macklin right behind him, and Dave Comstock. We've seen him earlier on this evening take the be up front and have the lead. But right now, the man on point, EJ O'Rourke, is leading this race. We just completed lap 80. We are on lap 81 of 125 laps here at IMS Speedway for the Sim500 KickAss Beef Jerky Xfinity Series race. This is the second to last race. We got one more race. After this, we go to Homestead, and we're going to crown a champion out of 4 drivers.
Yeah, say Tommy Ryan just had a moment out of turn 2, able to gather back up, no yellow. Really good save by him, saying it's getting loose for these guys on track. And oh man, Macklin is sending it right now into turn 1 as well. So I'm trying to figure out where to watch right now because there's stuff going on everywhere. Oh, as I said that, there's a caution in the back here.
Yeah, so
I think it may have been the 44 of Glenn Campbell.
I do believe it was the 44.
And I'm not sure. Oh, and as well as the 17 of Chad Cole. Yeah, it looks like the 17 may have got to the back of 44, and then entering 1 and 2. So yeah, unfortunate for those guys. However, there's a very happy Byron Daly right now with that caution. So he falling back to the 8th spot. Yeah, it's like unfortunately, more damage for Jordan Hightower. As if
he just
couldn't
fixed
have
that car.
enough damage. Yeah,
he fixes that car, and then he he hits the 44 in that last caution and gets some more nose damage. So he's gonna have to get that car repaired once again, keeping his guys busy on pit road tonight.
Yeah, same with the 17 Chad Cole. He's had a rough night as well. Got more damage. He had that contact earlier with Steve Ritter. Now he's got more damage from that incident. So as see all the leaders here on pit road. Say I'm sure you're going to see 4 tires for Byron Daly. Again, it was a pretty short run for the rest of the lead pack. So does anybody else want to try a 2-tire strategy here? It's kind of surprising that Daly's so far been the only one to do so.
Yeah, definitely. He is the only guy that's been trying to do that tonight, and I'm curious. You know, this would be a good opportunity for some of these guys to try it again. I mean, EJ O'Rourke maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, say if I was somebody outside the top 5 or so, I think I would try it. So we're coming to 40 to go here.
EJ's
so I
taking
mean,
4.
it's gonna be soon. Let's see who's that coming around. That's Macklin. I think Macklin
beat him off pit
nailed his
road.
pit stop. Yeah,
Brian Macklin is going to beat EJ O'Rourke off pit road, pending any penalties. Wow, 13.9 second pit stop is what our producer is telling us for Brian Macklin there in the number 30. EJ O'Rourke had a 14.2 second pit stop, so that'll tell you right there. All that time, all those little tiny tenths of a second matter on pit road. There is Brian Macklin's going to be our new leader, and EJ O'Rourke is going to try to have to hunt him down one more time. Brian Macklin, he battled from 18th in the field, pretty far back there to now be sitting on point.
Yeah, Macklin's had a really good run. Daniel Falkingham as well. He's kind of had some damage, had to get that repaired. Now he's back up into the 4th spot. He had started 16th, and now he's worked his way back up. So he's had to kind of go back through the field a few times here himself as well. So the one that's going to be the one to keep an eye on, in my opinion, is going to be Byron Daly. He'll be restarting in the 8th position. We know obviously how fast he's been, but now he doesn't have that track position that he had from earlier on in the race when he did that initial 2-tire strategy call. So again, I say we still got 40 laps to go here. Who knows, if we get another yellow, you might see Daly kind of live by that 2-tire strategy, and hopefully not in the next one won't
hopefully
get
not die by
them
it.
staying out.
I was gonna say hopefully he doesn't die by it too. But I give a shout out to Joey Gattina, boss man tonight, start 13th. He's currently in 11th, almost cracking that top 10 there. So Joey's still toughing it out tonight here at IMS.
Lights are off on the pace car here. I'll say real quick before we get going and give you the final 4 for the WCIParts.com Truck Series on Wednesday. So going into Homestead on Wednesday, it's going to be Nick Silver, EJ O'Rourke, Trey Edson, and Chad Cole. Those are going to be the 4 drivers racing for the championship on Wednesday night in the Truck Series with the WCIparts.com. Definitely want to thank them for sponsoring that series. And then let's say, pending some more opportunities here, I'll give you guys a quick rundown as well as on the Trans Service Cup Series, how that's going to be coming on into Phoenix tomorrow.
Yeah, the lights are off in the pace car. We're going to see Brian Macklin lead these guys to this restart with EJ O'Rourke on the outside. New guys that haven't been up front, haven't really led this race until now. Pace car has peeled off.
Yeah, say Brian's going to control the field, gets a really good start here. You're going to see him probably swing to the top and try to get that good arc entering turn 1. It's going to open the door here for the second position between David Comstock and EJ O'Rourke. Right now, it looks like David got a really good 1 and 2 there. I think he's going to be able to power through there, and he's going to come out here in second spot. Really good restart there for that 42 car.
Yeah, Brian Macklin had a great start there. I mean, obviously being the leader was able. Oh, we got somebody
Tommy
up in the
Ryan
wall.
up by the wall.
A little slow. He's got to back up. Just scraped the wall a little bit. He's still pointing that car in the right direction. But back up front, Brian Macklin, still our leader. David Comstock is trying to hunt him down. He's in second place. Everybody behind them is pretty much side by side for position.
Ooh, contact a little bit there, yeah, with
Josh Parker and EJ O'Rourke.
EJ O'Rourke, yeah, a little bit of contact there in the backstretch dog leg. I say it looks like able to kind of a no harm, no foul. Looks like both cars are looking pretty good still body wise. But yeah, it's I say again we're getting down to it, and these guys are starting to get really aggressive right here.
Well, they know they're in the closing laps. They're past halfway. They know need to get every point matters, especially for these guys. This is the last chance that they have to get to Homestead, so they're trying to make every single point matter. And right now, David Comstock, like I said, he's still trying to hunt down that leader in second place. But behind them, it's getting really dicey. EJ O'Rourke, Josh Parker, Daniel Falkingham, Chad Cole, Brian Daly. 3 of those guys right there, Falkingham, Coleman, and Brian Daly. Now Simley's in the mix. All those guys are championship. Contenders.
Yeah, I was saying it's definitely getting busy there. I say Parker had his hands full with Daniel Falkingham there, and then yeah, say Byron Daly's made a pretty good gain. So he was restarted 8th. He's up to the 6th spot now. He's saying again he's all over the back of that 39 car as well. And so let's say these guys are all just kind of nose to tail right now. Just any little mistake, and any of them are going to try to jump and capitalize on it. Say the 2 that are pretty happy with where things are right now are probably Brian Macklin and David Comstock. They kind of gapped the field here a little bit when they started fighting so hard from 3rd on back.
Yeah, those guys definitely want to see everybody's fighting side by side back there. But yeah, everybody back here is really battling. I mean, it's so hard to pass here, as we were saying before. And these guys right now are kind of nose to tail, but just kind of waiting for whoever's in front of you to make a mistake so you can kind of pounce on it and use that as an opportunity to try to make a pass.
Yeah, I'll say right now though, it seems like at least the top 10 here are all running single file. I'll say right now, yeah, I'll say right around Jordan Hightower in the 13th position. There's a little bit of a battle going on with him, Chad Cole, Randy Yoakum, and Doy Woods. But yeah, I'll say up front though, these guys are all just right now nose to tail, just again running just super similar lap times. Brian Macklin's running 20. Actually, had a really good lap there, 27.2. Whereas a lot of the other guys were in the 3s and the 4s. So that 30 car, once he got it out in front, he's going to try to set sail here and see if he can just kind of gap this field.
Well, he's got that advantage of that clean air. He's got nobody in front of him. He can pretty much just pick whatever line he wants to run and doesn't have to worry about anybody else around him. He has that advantage of the leader, so that does help him out a lot.
Yeah, and especially also having that bit of a gap on David Comstock. I think he's got about an 7/10 of a second lead over the 42. So he doesn't have to worry about watching his mirror right now either. He can just hit his marks, kind of just focus forward. Don't worry about what's going on behind you. And that goes so far. They kind of tell you, like, once you look in your mirror, you lose a 10th just right off the bat from looking behind you. So he's doing everything he needs to do right now.
And I'm watching this battle right now. EJ O'Rourke, Josh Parker, Daniel Falkingham. This is a great battle right now. Every now and then, Josh Parker kind of looks to the high side, looks to the low side. It's almost like he's trying to figure out what line he might be able to take to be able to get by EJ. But at the same time, he's got to worry about Daniel Falkingham behind him, who is basically just stalking him out, waiting for his opportunity to pounce on him. It's so close. These guys. It's. I'm watching these guys with their. Some of these guys got different braking lines, and I've seen these guys actually shift a few times, and then the next lap not shift. So they're trying all sorts of things to be able to make advantages on the guy ahead of them to be able to make those opportunities to be able to pass.
Yeah, and this is definitely a track where you can kind of throw your line around a little bit to make gains on the cars in front of you. Like if you can't, you obviously running the same line as them, you probably aren't going to be able to make a move happen. But one thing I was doing was like I feel like it was in 3 and 4, I could kind of run it a little bit more like the middle of the top line, and then arc it down and get a really strong run on the exit to try to get my nose underneath the car into that next turn. However, with as warm as it is and as loose as these cars have been running, I think it's getting a little bit more difficult. Although, to be fair, track temp is cooling down a little bit. We're down to 112 degrees from around, I think it was around 120 or so earlier in the race. So I'm sure they're any degree cooler that they can get on the track, these drivers will gladly take it.
Well, we started off at 120, and I was looking about 20 laps ago. It was actually at 110, so it's actually gone up a couple degrees since then. But back up front, Brian Macklin I mean, that's one thing I'm kind of surprised about. He hasn't really, until now, been up front in this clean air to be able to show how fast of a car he really has. And yeah, I'm really surprised how much he's gapping Dave Comstock. I figured David would be right there on him, if not already trying to make be there to make the pass on him. But Macklin has just been able to really pace this field so far tonight. He's he's really getting it done here with his closing laps as we're 25 laps to go here at IMS Speedway for the KickAss Beef Jerky Xfinity Series.
Yeah, no, Macklin's done a really good job. I'll say since that restart, saying him and David are running pretty much within like 100th of a second or so of each other. The last time by they ran 1,000th of a second difference. This one time before there was 200ths of a second. So I'm gonna see what their times were at the line here. Yeah, again 3,000ths of a second between the two of them. So, I mean they're just running they're running pretty much the exact same lap times right now. So. Both these drivers are just really nailing their marks and doing a really good job to kind of try to protect their third track position. David's trying to do all he can to catch Brian. You see right there, he's trying to run that low line in 3 and 4, even using a little bit of the under the yellow line, see if he can help it get to rotate a little bit better. And just yeah, these guys are just actually so yeah. No, again, not even half a tenth of a second between those
Byron
two.
Daly just barely touched. I think it was actually netcode Daniel Falkingham there. He really drove it into the corner, and it looked like netcode because I was watching them when it happened, and I didn't see any contact. But Daniel Falkingham got a little bit sideways and lost a whole bunch of positions there.
You know, pull up the replay here. That was definitely a big.
It looked like
there
netcode
between
to
those
me.
two. Yeah, really good driving though by both of those guys to
definitely
to not make it worse than it was.
That was a great save by Falkingham, but yeah, that was definitely netcode there.
However, though, it's definitely opened up things a little bit now as it's getting really busy right now. Whoa, as I say that right with Chad Coleman and the who's that? Scott Simley, Daniel Falkingham right there,
Falkingham's right there.
Yeah, this is a really busy battle right here for that. What's that right now? 6th spot.
6th, 7th, 8th spot right there is getting really crowded, man.
Yeah, so I'm sure right now Brian Macklin's telling these guys like, no, keep it clean, keep it clean. I like where we're at right now. I've got about a second lead over David. Let's not mess this up.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to see a yellow right now. He wants to see this thing go green the rest of the way. And these guys back here are really trying to do everything they can to not make that happen. Daniel Falkingham and Scott Simley, I mean, almost getting door to door, making contact there. Still running side by side. They got the number 20 in front of or the number 20 of Chad Coleman in front of them, and they're both trying to catch him. But man, those guys side by side, it's super tight. I mean, the number 12 of Scott Simley keeps squeezing Falkingham down there a little bit in the corners to try to keep him from getting that momentum by pushing the car up a little bit.
Yes, I think he might be able to clear him right here. Yep, he is able to off of turn 2 there. It's going to put Daniel back up into the 7th position. I say obviously not where he wanted to be with that little bit of contact earlier with the 06, or not actual contact, but iRacing thought it was contact.
Yeah, the net code. Yeah.
But yeah, but now saying you still got these guys all right there, all nose to tail. Saying also creeping into that battle is Joey Jatina right there in the 14 car. He's running in that 10th position right now. Oh, as Simley gets loose off of turn 2, that may open the door here for Jose Gonzalez to take a look on the inside.
Yeah, and he's taking a look on the inside there, trying to get that pass completed there in these closing laps, trying to get some more done. I'm also looking at Byron Daly here. He's been working on Josh Parker for a while, trying to get his way up front. Oh, yeah, he did.
He's able to hang on to, let's say, that cost him spots. Going to Joey now up to the 9th position. And saying, yeah, like you were saying, though, Byron Daly's all over the back of Josh Parker. So I don't think he's going to have time to get to David or Brian, but I say he might have a chance to at least try to get up to 3rd. Let's say, because you know how much he wants to talk to you, Don. So that's going to be his goal right here.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he wants to do. But right now, Brian Macklin, man, I mean, that's so impressive. The lead he has right now on this field in these closing laps. He's got about 15 laps to go in this race, or he's going to have 15 laps to go in the race as soon as he passes start-finish line. And yeah, he just has a heck of a lead on Dave Comstock there. Comstock's just nowhere near him to even challenge him. And right now, Macklin is just hoping all those guys that are back there further in the field that are really trying to fight for position here in these closing laps, he's hoping those guys keep it clean because he definitely doesn't want to see a caution the way these guys battle.
Yeah, saying I'm kind of cycling through the field, see what's going on, taking a look at saying there was actually a really close call there between the 44 of Glenn Campbell and the 4 of Bob Gillenwater coming off of turn 4 there, which I'm sure if Brian saw that, he'd be kind of cringy, like, no, don't do that, guys. But yeah, say right now things are spreading a little bit. I say some of these guys are definitely having their hands full. Say Joey Jatina though, he's rolling in onto the back of Scott Simley. He's right there trying to fight for that 8th position. So say it looks like Simley's starting to lose the handle of that car a little bit. And it's saying right on board here with that 14 car of Joey Jatina. You can see what he's doing here. Say enters turn 1 just a little bit lower than Simley here. He's going to try to get it to kind of cut to the bottom. Not able to get it all the way to the yellow line, which isn't actually surprising with as loose as it is. You don't want to put too much wheel in it. That's where you're going to see these guys maybe run that little bit more of a middle line, especially in 3 and 4. But here you see Simley's running that middle line, but Joey's all the way to the white line here. As again, you see the 12 car step out just that little bit. Let's say, but Joey's just right there. It's one of those things like you're just so close. It's so tempting. You just want to try to go and get that guy. It's about 2 tenths or so off. But any little mistake by Simley is going to open the door for Joey there, kind of like what happened to Jose a few laps earlier.
And that's the thing here with these, tires that are a little bit more race worn. We've had, these guys have been on these tires for a while. As you see Simley there, a little bit sideways while he's going through the corner. That's what Joey's looking for. Any mistake to be able to pounce on it. But that's the thing. You want to be able to, especially if you're Joey, you're like, oh, okay, I'm getting closer. You want to mash that gas a little bit more coming off the corner, but you got to be careful. You got to make that car come around. So Joey's got to be very patient. Just kind of ride his line, do his thing, and maybe hope that Simley either messes up or Joey just gets a really good run and he's there to be able to make the pass. But Joey's running out of time because we got about 10 laps to go in this race.
Yeah, so while we were watching that, Byron Daly was able to get around Josh Parker, so move Byron up to the 4th position. He's running about a 10th or so quicker than E.J. O'Rourke the last few laps, so I think he still has enough time to get to that 41 car. As I say that though, you got Chad Coleman all over the back of Josh Parker now, and same thing with Daniel Falkingham. He's right there on Coleman as well. So you got a really good battle here for about the 5th, 6th, and 7th positions.
Yeah, Chad Coleman's trying to do everything he can to hold off Josh Parker. Josh Parker kind of looked to the high side there a little bit as Coleman kind of straddles that yellow line there, puts that car right there on the yellow line. But Josh Parker again gets that momentum, looks to the low side now, has a head of steam on him. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it work there on the low side, but he's going to try to stick his nose down there. Not sure if he's going to have enough momentum to make the pass, and it looks like he's going to be able to complete the pass there on him.
Yeah, so yeah, he's able to get around there. He's going to grab that spot there, put him up to 6. As Chad is going to go for the crossover here, he's going to run to the bottom. We'll see if he's able to keep the power down. This is where it gets a little hairy right off of turn 4. Yeah, so Dan's going to use that momentum and stay in front of the 20 car.
Yeah, he tried to use that crossover to try to, maybe get a little bit of momentum, and it looked like, oh, wow. I'm watching Daniel Fockingham just get a little bit loose there in front of him. I thought he was going to wreck.
Yeah, I was talking about EJ. I was saying while I was mentioning him, he's actually really closed the gap there on David. David's starting to struggle at that back of that 42 car. EJ is right there now. He's
Yeah,
within
he
about a
is.
tenth or two. I was saying with David struggling on the exit of these turns right now, I think yeah, man, he's just sideways right now off of turn 2. I say this is definitely this is what EJ is looking for. He's going to try to see if he can capitalize on this, try to get that spot away from the 42. As we say that, Brian Macklin's checked out. He's got over a 2-second lead right now.
Yeah, you're not missing anything up front, folks. Brian Macklin has totally checked out. And as of right now, it looks like he's got this thing wrapped up unless we get a yellow or something drastic happens with him up front. But Dave Comstock still trying to hold off EJ O'Rourke. And as you were saying, Comstock, he gets a little loose coming off the corners or getting into the corners. And EJ was doing the same thing. They both battled. But EJ has looked like he's gaining on him just a little bit again. Losing time, though. He's only got a handful of laps left to go.
Yeah, say 5 to go right there. Say David Comstock still fighting EJ. Say EJ's trying different lines here, trying to find a way to get around that 42. Say trying to keep an eye as well, because there's still also some good battles going on right behind them. Josh Parker's got Daniel Fockingham all over the back of him. Joey is still trying to work over Scott Simley as well. As I say that, Chad Coleman sends it really deep into 3, trying to get after Daniel Fockingham there. Couldn't get it done, but yeah, these guys they're definitely not done fighting here. As we are on lap 121 of 125.
Oh, and you see Chad Coleman again almost stick that nose down there in Daniel Fockingham. And Daniel Fockingham getting super loose coming off the corner there as he's trying to put that power down so he can catch Josh Parker. But so far, he's just kind of stalled where he's at. And he really drives it into that corner. Thought he was going to drive it in too deep, but right now he's just kind of sitting where he's at, trying to. Oh, now he's looking to the inside, maybe to Josh Parker. But like I said, he did. Oh, looked like he gave him a bumper there.
Yeah, so Josh Parker closed the door there, and yeah, definitely it's slow, hurt his momentum there. And that's going to open up the door for Coleman to see if he can try to capitalize on it. I was saying, looks like David's kind of been able to kind of settle back in, be able to gap EJ now again a little bit. But yeah, from 5th on back though, right now they're they're all after each other. Say we're on lap 123 of the 125 here, so we're just about there. Saying again up front, Brian Macklin's just setting up just a torrid pace. He's almost got a 3-second lead on these guys.
Oh, Josh Parker! Parker!
Oh, yellow's out.
Josh Parker lost it all by himself and hit that inside wall, and the caution is out. And that is not something our leader, Brian Macklin, wanted to see. We are going to have a green-white checker.
Yeah, and you know, as we're going to roll the replay here, it looks like he actually just that transition from the banking to the apron with as these tires worn out like they were. I think that's what did it. Just upset the car that much. And saying, so we're gonna have a green-white checker here, and at Sim500 we only do one attempt at a green-white checker. So this is gonna really open up some strategies here if anybody's gonna want to try to take either fuel, or maybe even stay out, or take tires, maybe 2 or if they're gonna do 4. It's been a long run. But again, if there's a quick yellow, that's
if you're the leader, do you pit? You're kind of a sitting duck.
I
mean,
think
if you
you
do
have
pit,
to pit.
Well, if you do pit, other people are going to stay out. See? Okay, look at see. That's exactly what I thought.
Calls.
That's exactly what I thought. That's exactly what I thought would happen. I thought basically, I mean, the leader's a sitting duck. If he stays out, everybody's going to pit. If he pits, everybody's going to stay out. So that's exactly what you saw happen right there. Macklin, Comstock, EJ O'Rourke, Byron Daly, and Chad Coleman. I mean, all those guys stayed out right there with him. You know, he tried to snooker him, but they all stayed out.
Yeah, so you see Jordan Hightower, he stayed out as well. So obviously he's hoping just to try to capitalize on a little bit that
he was
can.
the last car. He's the last car that's going to stay out. So
and
basically everybody from 9th back pitted.
Yeah, say Daniel was the first one, and we'll see what he's doing here. It looks like he took, waiting for him to come out, it looks like he took 4.
Well, this is going to be good for Macklin because he wants to see the guys behind him on the same tires that he's got. He doesn't want, you know, he wants to have a cushion between the guys that are behind him and the guys with fresh tires. So, I mean, it kind of fits into his favor there. He just has to get a really good start here on David Comstock.
Yeah, saying we were mentioning tire spin earlier. This is now for those
Big.
top 8, it's gonna be super critical for these guys. They're gonna have to be really careful on their tires here. So I'm gonna take a look to see. I believe the top 8 stayed out, and it's gonna put Daniel Fockingham in 9th with the fresh tires, as well as Scott Simley. Oh, actually, top 7 stayed out. I apologize. So that's gonna put Fockingham in 8th, Simley in 9th, Jose Gonzalez in 10th. Those will be the first 3 with the new tires. To say they all took 4 as well. But yeah, this is gonna get exciting here. I say they have to be real careful about tire spin. And then just I say we were talking about how they run that run the dog leg in the backstretch. You're gonna see them all over the place on this restart, especially those with new tires trying to find a way to get around. But again, I say we haven't got the one to go yet. But like we mentioned, though, it's the only one chance at this. So if it doesn't get to the white flag, if a caution comes out before the white, that's going to end the race. However, if they get to the white flag and then someone spins or crashes, then you got from there. You got to go. You got to stay in it. You got to go all the
You got to
way.
complete the lap.
And you see the leaders now. They're trying to see what these tires have on grip. They're kind of testing it out as the lights are off on the pace car. This is going to be the last chance here. So Macklin's going to need to get the restart of his life on this one, and then just try to pretty much get a good gap and then set sail and hope that those new tires can't get to him.
Well, obviously he's got the advantage because he controls the start. So, I mean, he can do whatever he wants here. As soon as that pace car leaves, he can do his thing. So, and you can see him again. Once again, he's testing it. You see a lot of these guys like put it in gear and they're testing it to see if they're going to spin tires here. You see Macklin did it one more time there. Yeah, this is going to be a real interesting start here. And as Gael said, the next flag pretty much ends this race. If we get a yellow before the white, it's over. If we get a yellow after the white, we have to race to the checkered to finish this race. So this is going to be an exciting finish here. See if Macklin can get it done. He is not a chase driver. Pace car has peeled off. Here we go. Ooh,
He went
look at these
really
guys. A lot
early.
of guys
They're
spinning tires there, but
squirming.
Macklin got it done.
That was a good start by Macklin. I say now he's just got to try to hit his marks for a couple of laps here, because obviously now David's all over the back of him, so he's going to have to watch that mirror. It's Macklin. Oh, he's in the wall.
He hits the wall.
Off of 2.
Oh, Macklin spins out. Macklin in the inside wall. The caution is out. David Comstock is going to win this race.
Yeah, I say you got to see it was actually really close. I say Byron Daly was making a charge on David as well before that yellow came out. Yeah. I say David's gonna get the win here, but
What a heartbreaker!
I feel terrible for Brian there.
Yeah, that's so bad. He just barely touched that wall, upset the car, shot that car to the inside, and he hit that inside wall, and that was it. And David Comstock is going to be our winner.
Yeah, so yeah, David's gonna win the race here. Say Byron Daly is gonna finish 2nd, EJ O'Rourke in 3rd, Chad Coleman 4th, Scott Simley will be the top 5. And I think rounding out the top 10 will be Daniel Fockingham, Jose Gonzalez, Doy Woods. So actually, Doy Woods, Joey Jutina, and Steve Ritter, I believe. So I'm gonna let everything cycle, but yeah. But the race winner is going to be David Comstock there in that 42 car. Man, that late yellow just completely threw everything for a wrench.
Yeah, that was it's really hard to hold on the car there with the old tires, and Brian Macklin, that's a heartbreaker there. You hate to see that happen, but David Comstock pulling off the win, being in the right place at the right time when it mattered.
Yeah, I mean that's what you have to do at these deals, is you just gotta put yourself in position. Unfortunately, sometimes those little things happen. And say he was able to get that restart he needed, but then just the car just did not rotate like he needed to out of 1 and 2, and just that's all we had.
Yeah,
so we're gonna keep an eye out for some of the guys to join the TeamSpeak for our interviews. I say you're gonna watch the 42 here do his celebrations here on the front stretch. I'm saying I believe we can probably, with pretty certain guarantees here, give you the final 4 though for this series. So once I find it, so I had it in a different window. So I believe the top 4 going into Homestead are going to be Byron Daly, Daniel Fockingham, David Comstock, and Chad Coleman. Those will be your 4 going for the championship at Homestead. So obviously definitely a good way to go into it for David, getting the win here. Let's say Chad Coleman came home in 4th position. He was one of those ones that was kind of near that cutoff, so obviously he had enough to make it happen there as well in that 20 machine. So yeah, those are going to be the 4 that you see going to Homestead next week.
Yeah, great race tonight. You see David Comstock, he's still celebrating, going around the track. And yeah, I mean, hey, he's going to try to win it any way he can, and that was a heck of a way to win it. Hate to see that for Macklin there. I mean, he had a good race, and that late caution just really got him. If he wouldn't have had that late caution, it'd be a totally different story tonight. But David Comstock with the win. It's not a win and you get in scenario, but it does still secure his position to make it on to Homestead, as Gael said. The 4 that are going to transfer on. Looks like we have E.J. O'Rourke. We're still waiting for our other 2 drivers to get here. David Comstock has made it, but we're going to talk to our 3rd place driver here, E.J. O'Rourke. We're going to bring him up here in the booth, and a good run for him tonight. He got up there, was able to challenge for the lead a few times, but was able to finally bring that car home in 3rd place. E.J. O'Rourke, how you feel about your race tonight here at IMS?
Yeah, I just wish I capitalized a few laps ago and raced David, because I feel like if I got around David and was second on that restart, I would have won. So I mean, oh well.
Well, how do you feel? How do you think this car, was it like you saw Byron Daly take 2 tires twice in the race, and we saw tire strategy kind of play out. Was that any option for you? Were you thinking about doing that at all tonight?
You know, Byron's an animal. I don't know how he drives so fast. He's so good on different strategies, but I don't know. I'm not a playoff driver in this deal, so I'm not trying to screw anything up, but I'm not trying to give wins away either. So just come down, take 4 tires every time, and see what I can do.
Well, anybody that you want to thank, anybody that gets you here each and every week, or somebody that might have been watching tonight that you want to mention?
I want to say thank you to Gary Morse Trucking and WCI Parts for being on this Chevrolet Camaro. It's been a fun season. I won't be around next week, so I guess this was my finale. So I usually run a lot better at Phoenix than I do Homestead, so next year should be interesting.
Well, that's E.J. O'Rourke, for ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. You had a great run tonight, man. Congratulations on your 3rd place finish, E.J.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. And we're going to catch up here with Mr. Byron Daly. As you heard, EJ himself called him an animal with taking those 2 tires there, but we were talking about it all night. He did it twice tonight, and still was able to bring it home in 2nd place. Wasn't able to quite get that last spot there, but Byron, you took 2 tires there. I mean, how were you able to keep that thing going so fast as opposed to everybody else? You had a whole field that had 4 tires and you took 2, and you were still able to keep it up front there and be really fast.
Yeah, it was a good call there. I mean, the clean air really helped me out a lot, and honestly, like, I thought I felt really smart at that time, and then I did something dumb like I usually do. So I felt really good about that, and then went ahead and threw the race away. So second's okay, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, second's definitely a good finish in position, man, especially if you're going for those points here going into Homestead. But yeah, I mean, you were just on a rail there. Did you think you had anything for Comstock there and Macklin on that last restart? I mean, we saw Macklin kind of hit the wall there and have an incident late in the race, give up the lead, give up the win. But did you think you had anything for them on that last restart?
Yeah, I felt like that restart gave me a chance to at least get to where I am now. I knew if I could just get off the line, not spin the tires real bad, kind of bombing into 3 like I was planning to do. I thought maybe I could redeem myself a little bit, and I guess I did a little bit. But it was gonna be hard. Being in traffic here, it's definitely made it hard to pass, just being in traffic. Period. So. But yeah, as you saw there on the restart, they both kind of got tight into turn 1. I had a big run, and if the caution didn't come out, who knows what could have happened.
Yeah, definitely. Who knows what could have happened, man. You were fast all night, and man, just couldn't get quite didn't have enough time to get that last spot. But anybody that you want to thank, any sponsors or anybody that might have been watching tonight that you want to mention?
Just KickAss Beef Jerky, sponsoring the series, Sim500 for putting it on, you guys broadcasting. Gotta give a shout out to David Comstock. He ran a really good race, did everything right. He deserves this one. And yeah, it's just you gotta be perfect in these things. It's not easy to win, and you gotta be perfect. And I wasn't perfect tonight, so we'll try to fix that next week.
Definitely, definitely. That's your runner-up there, Mr. Byron Daly, finished in second place. Started deep well, not too deep, but 10th in the field to bring it home in second place. And we're going to see him next week at Homestead to fight it out for that championship there. Congratulations, Byron.
Thank you.
And I think Gael has caught up with our winner, Mr. David Comstock. I'm going to bring him up here. And yeah, Gael's caught up with our winner.
Yeah, so started on the pole. Obviously, kind of a not an up and down race per se. You were up front all the whole race there, but that last yell, I mean, that definitely completely shook things up for, if I say for the better for you. But say just take us through your race. I mean, that looked like it was a handful just all night.
Yeah, it was pretty hot and slick out there. It wasn't terribly bad. I mean, you could still get some decent drive off the corner. It wasn't too hot, but it was enough to where you can play around with the balance of your how much fuel you're putting in to adjust the nose weight and stuff a little bit. And I didn't do that just because I felt like with how shorter runs we were having that I liked it where it had some rotation off the corners and everything. It wasn't plowing going in, and it was plowing a little bit through the center, but off the corner. I just wanted to make sure that I had control of the of the nose a bit using the rear. It's kind of my driving style, but had a little bit too much of it. Burned the rear tires off there late, trying to keep up and try to run Macklin down, because I think it was like for the first 10 or 15 laps of that run, I was kind of just running pace and trying to keep the tires on it, and then was going to start making them try to see if I can make any gains or grounds on them, and just burnt my tires up. So I was pretty much just destined to run second place, and then that yellow come out and changed everything. About followed the leader off the cliff, per se, in a sense, where he ended up running into the wall, and it just shocked me, boggled my mind that he ended up running into the wall and losing it, because he had it sealed in the bank. So it was unfortunate for Macklin on that deal, but just right place, right time, I guess.
Yeah, no, we were as well in the booth. We like just how well he had been running all night once he got that clean air and got the lead. And once we saw him entering 1 and 2, it's like, okay, yeah, this is looking good, and then just looked like the car just plowed on him basically. But we saw you definitely throw a couple of big pit fakes there, as well as seeing if you could get some of those guys to jump in or stay out. It actually worked on that one time with Byron Daly being the only one staying out. We noticed he took 2 tires at least twice during that race. Did you ever have any thoughts of trying to for track position on those shorter green flag runs, or were you pretty much settled on, if I'm pitting, I'm taking 4?
I was pretty much settled on doing 4. I mean, just because how free it was already to start after a few laps. I felt like taking 2 was a bit risky, unless if you were to play with your fuel levels and stuff, by not taking fuel or having a little bit less in the tank to for the compromise of that. But I mean, there was that one time where he had stayed out, and I wasn't faking anything. I was completely committed on my end to pit, and so was everybody else behind me. He was the only one that stayed out. So I don't know on that deal what his strategy was, but he ended up recovering pretty decent, so it really didn't matter. He's just generally just lightning fast anyway, so he's going to be him and Falkingham, I feel like, are going to be the 2 that I'm going to have to try to fight for the win next week, because that's what it's going to come down to. It's not going to be being complacent and being able to just be happy with second place. It's going to be needing to go out there and win next week. So we're going to do everything we can to try to push for that, and hope that we all just were able to go out there and put on a good race for everybody.
Yeah, and you led into exactly what I was going to ask you about going into Homestead next week with yourself, Byron Daly, Daniel Falkingham, and then Chad Coleman. Obviously going to be definitely a fight between the 4 of you. Saying again, a really good run tonight. Being in the right place, right time, up front all night. But definitely want to give you here the opportunity to give any thanks and shouts you'd like to give.
Yeah, and I guess Coleman got it in too. So he's known to be really good at Homestead. So it's definitely going to be a brawl next week, and just Hope to make all the sponsors in the car happy with racingbiz.com. Go to Facebook, check them out on there, as well as online at racingbiz.com. On Facebook, we run live auctions from at 7 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays and Thursdays weekly. So got authentic racing memorabilia that goes for auction on there. Go check them out. New Day Doors, Monster Energy, JD Layer, JDR Graphics for paint my cars and keeping everything nice and pristine, and Aftermath Motorsports and all their support. You guys for broadcasting the race for us. Sim500 and all the admins for putting on our leagues, and KickAss Beef Jerky for sponsoring our series here Sunday nights, and everybody out there watching, tune in next week. Be a good show.
So you're having from our race winner David Comstock. I say able to win it tonight. Going to look for one more next week at Homestead. Feels like he's going to have to win to be able to win that title, just with the level of competition that he's got with him. Again, really good run tonight, David. Congratulations. Yeah, we look forward to talking to you next week.
Thanks. See you next week.
All right, so there you have it. That's race winner David Comstock. Say, gonna go through the rundown of the top 10 finishers though before we call it for the night. So the winner, of course, David Comstock. Second, Byron Daly. Third, E.J. O'Rourke. Chad Coleman comes home in fourth. In fifth was Scott Simley. Sixth, Daniel Falkingham. Seventh, Jose Gonzalez. Eighth, Jordan Hightower, using that strategy, staying out late, definitely getting him some spots, just unfortunately not enough to make it in. Ninth is Joey Jatina, able to hold on to that ninth position, so a really good run by him as well. And then rounding out the top 10 was Doy Woods. So I'd say, any final thoughts for the race though for you tonight, Don?
Great run by Comstock tonight. I mean, I can't take it, I mean, he got the win with Macklin wrecking out, but, Comstock was still up front all night. He was still right there in position, and I just feel bad for Macklin, having the win go away like that. But great race tonight.
Yeah, I say these guys definitely put on a show, and yeah, I say the number 4 Bob Gillenwater, he survived tonight. He's able to finish 14th. I say he's able to hop on to the chat on YouTube. So say good job surviving tonight, Bob. It was definitely, I'm sure, a hard effort one for you to run as well. Say it was not an easy track to race. And yeah, like you said though, say definitely feel for Brian. Not the way you want to end your night. Say unfortunately I've been there before, so I feel the pain there. But I say it's just kind of more incentive to get back out there, push again, and see if we can maybe get one at Homestead and spoil these playoff drivers' chances here. So yeah, so for everybody here at the Sim500 group, as well as the OSR network, for myself, Don Runkle, and Aaron Grosskopf in the booth, thank you so much, Aaron, for your great cameras tonight. We hope you guys have a wonderful night, and definitely look forward to catching you guys tomorrow for the Trans Cup Series, Wednesday for the WCIParts.com Truck Series, and of course next week on Sunday for the finale here at Homestead for the KickAss Beef Jerky Xfinity Series. So thank you all and have a very good night.